Ladies and gentlemen, what's up? This is BC. Welcome to another episode of Supreme Being. I've now officially added that third episode for the week. We're going to be doing it on the weekends. It's Saturday. I'm here at the office getting some work done. And I figured why not take an extra 20 minutes every Saturday to do another podcast episode. Appreciate all the support. As always, go to the description. You have the email list. Get on it. Number two, those of you looking for additional support from me, make more money, get more help, build your knowledge base, expand it. Get on your free strategy call. We can totally help you. Get on our free public Discord link as well. That for our paid members also has its own private sections. And also those of you in the real estate world looking to find out more about the Icon Ninjas opportunity that we have at eXp Realty, you can click that link below as well. Let's get into it. I want to cover specifically today personality traits and things that you do that compose your character and you as a human being that you have to change. Okay. First one I've talked about pretty recently and people are loving it. I even created a series on YouTube. It's you're too nice, right? Replace the word nice with kind, right? If we're going to even use that, but understand what I mean when I say this, okay? You don't owe the world anything. The world doesn't owe you anything in return, right? It goes both ways, but stop going around supplicating and believing that to be accepted or to be a good little human being, you need to be nice to everybody. That's not what it's about. I'm kind, I'm compassionate as a person, absolutely. I'm not looking to knock over the next man. I'm not trying to impose myself on people, right? But I don't go around kissing ass, right? This is a part of the corporate culture and a lot of things that has seeped into society. Or many of us, like my family, right, that are immigrants that come from South America or somewhere else, we believe, and this is a mental thing, I think, for people who aren't native to this soil or your family immigrated here to America, right? There's this, and it could be cultural conditioning, right? It's not everybody. I just think it's a general thing. And I think most of you would agree with me, especially in Hispanic culture. It's almost like when you come here as an immigrant, right? You're either taught or the perception is we're less than the natives here. Like we're less than the Native American, right? And when I say Native American, I don't mean the Indian, right? Or the person who is native to this land. I mean, the American person today, right? Meaning if the immigrant comes in here, right, and they're working their job, they're taught to put their head down and supplicate to other people and like, oh, everyone else is better than us. We're just these lowly little workers and, we have to earn a living and we don't even want to be noticed, right? And there's like a lack of like self-respect. That's what I'm talking about, right? That feeds into you being too nice because you're weak and you don't want people to step all over you. You don't want unnecessary attention. You want everybody to be nice to you. And you feel like, oh, I have to be extra nice to everybody to get it in return. So you feel less, right? You view yourself as less. And that goes to the core. I think it's taught a lot in a lot of cultures. Unfortunately, it's like a side effect, right? And that's just something you need to look at as an individual because I don't think that in itself is going to change anytime soon unless we revamp a lot. But for you in your own process, say, hey, I'm not second to anybody else. I live in, especially if you're in America listening to this, I live in the land of the free. I can do whatever I want. There's no laws holding you back to go after what you want, ladies and gentlemen. You want to be an entrepreneur, go after it. You want to walk around and smile all day, you can. You want to speak about particular things, you have the freedom to do it still, right? Maybe not on social media, but in person. You get what I'm saying here, right? It's not perfect, of course, has its flaws, but hey, more so than anywhere, why does everybody come here? But this ties into too nice because you don't owe anybody anything, man. Don't view yourself as less than anybody else. And it starts with that, okay? That's one thing you have to for sure check in yourself and consistently put it at the top to work on, okay? That's number one. Number two, I wrote on the board for those of you watching on the video, you're too reliant on other people and things outside of you, okay? If you listen to me and you absolutely need me to light a fire under your ass, get you to get up and make calls or do your work, and without listening to me, you don't have your own motivation, that's a huge problem. I'm going to repeat that. That's a huge problem because now your life force, your energy is reliant on me and my voice. If you listen to me on audio or watching me, so the audio and the video, the visual cue of me and the delivery, right? You need to be able to motivate and inspire yourself. Me giving you additional motivation and inspiration as an example is a bonus. It's the sprinkles on top. It cannot be the actual ice cream sundae itself. That has to be you. Think about also all of these situations where Like a lot of people who listen to me are entrepreneurs and real estate agents, right? How many people will sit back and point the finger and not lift their own finger when it comes to their success in their business or in this industry, real estate? It's crazy. Why are you so reliant on other people to help you? Get off your ass and go find the answers and get to work. Stop being reliant on everyone else to roll out the red carpet for you or hold your hand. All of that stuff is bonus. That's not required. Everything that's required is from within you. Anything outside of you is a bonus. I can tell you guys. I remember back in the day going and trying to get loans to start, my business and get some funding. I got denied everywhere. All the problems that people complain about, I went through them too. I didn't have any money. I couldn't get loans. I'm like, fuck. But I figured it out, dude. And you can too. But stop being reliant on everything and everyone outside of you. Nobody around me gave me money. Nobody gave me a pat on the back. Nobody supported me. Okay? Now, I'm not here to complain. I'm not. I'm just letting you know, because there's always going to be the next person who has it better than you, the same as you, and worse than you. I don't care who you are. I'm just letting you know. I was not relying on anything or anyone outside of me. I said, this is 100% my responsibility. I'm going to have to figure it out. If there's things I don't like about me, BC, if I listen to BC, he's not going to change it. He might give me some insight, some information, and some guidance. But ultimately, I need to be the one who decides this needs to change and this is going to happen. And my best students understand that. All my top dogs on my coaching, limitless, distinguished agent, all the stuff that I offer, they understand that. I am a guide. I am help to them. But they ultimately have to walk the path themselves. Okay? I'm there. I walk it with them, and I've paved the path. But they eventually have to walk it, whether with my guidance or not. And that's what you have to understand. The moment you understand that, everything changes. Okay? This is very much so tied in with self-responsibility. Okay? Which is the epitome of those things that I believe can completely change somebody. It doesn't fix the world, doesn't make everything perfect, but from the individual standpoint, if we want to maximize potential, maximize the ability to acquire information, become more intelligent, become more capable, that is the root. Because then they know it's up to them and it's up to you to go after what you want, become what you want to become, fix what you don't like, and go out there and get it. It's up to you, not me or anybody else. Right? Because when you're reliant on other things and you depend on it, that's what causes problems. Because then if somebody doesn't come through or that circumstance or thing doesn't happen, then what? Then you're stuck. And you have to understand that the more you're self-reliant, self-sustaining, you're unstoppable, man. Then the outside factors start to have less and less effect on you. Then you become autonomous. Then nothing outside of you can affect you. Now, mentally, you're bulletproof. Spiritually, you're bulletproof. Physically, you're bulletproof, right? That's what you want. Okay, when we talk about maximizing human potential, that's one of those things. But we have to begin to become comfortable and build that self-reliance. Okay. Number 3 is you have to eradicate that comfort and that okay attitude that you have with being average. I mean, gosh, if you guys ever want to achieve particular things in your life, as an example, right? Absolute fulfillment, emotional maturity, a certain amount of monetary success, right? That is well above average in order for you to have financial freedom, as an example, and some of these other things. It's going to require that in all these different categories, whether emotional, spiritual, physical, financial, right? However you want to slice it, relationships, communication, right? Any of these is going to require that you go above, well above and beyond everyone else's efforts and what they do and what they're willing to do to achieve those outcomes. Okay. So even if this doesn't involve money, because that's usually what people think, you're going to have to do a lot more than the other person or the average person to achieve that status in that. And when I say status, I don't mean like fame. I mean that outcome of whatever it is for you. You're going to have to do way more. And what other people are not willing to do to get there. Therefore, you cannot settle with average. I don't care what you're looking at. Okay? So I want to break it down in that simple fashion so you see this isn't just about money or social media or fame. It's about everything. I look at like morning rituals that I tell people do. It's like, dude, I don't do it to brag. I do it because it's what people are not willing to do. And that's why I live the way that I live. Nobody can touch it. Very few people can. But I'm doing what other people are not willing to do. Nothing about what I do is average. And I'm very proud to say that. I'm not special. I'm just not average. I do what other people are not willing to do, whether that's putting the time studying, what I do physically, what I do with my businesses, how I lead, how I teach, right? How I sell, what I do with customers, the customer service of my businesses, all of them, right? When I get into a new industry, right? My personal relationships, my communication with myself, my communication and behavior around my animals, like my cats. Nothing about me is average. And I want you to understand that that is what you need to strive for. It's not bragging. It's none of that crap. But when you get to that level, life begins to change. You achieve outcomes that other people are not achieving. Okay? But you need to wrap your head around it. That it's not average. You're willing to do what other people are not willing to do. And you're taking it to that level. So whatever category, it's going to require that much more from you in order to achieve that. That's going to require meticulous planning, meticulous action, consistency, discipline, and all the stuff that, again, other people lack. Okay? So when you look around you, if you feel like you stand alone in regards to your efforts in these categories and what you're doing, then you're in a good position. Then you're in a very good position. Okay? Number 4, you are more concerned with gossip and other people's lives than your own. Ooh, this is a big one. This is a big one. If you're out there bragging about how you follow all these influencers and you know so much about them, that's a problem. That's a problem. Why do you care what celebrities are doing and driving and wearing? Why do you care? Why? This takes away precious time and attention and focus from your own life and your own process. So many people are so concerned with that stuff or what's happening on social media or what's some other stuff that people send me, the flat earth and all this other garbage, right? Why? What's the point of listening to that when you haven't achieved what you want to achieve or become the person that you want to become? That's priority. Not all this political nonsense and all this crap that people talk about all the time, right? Why are you so concerned with that? You won't even write a plan for yourself or pay any attention to your own life. All of your attention is external. Your life becomes nothing and insignificant, which is what they want. This is why you suffer in perpetuity forever because of that. You've been told that you're nothing. You don't focus on yourself. You don't even exist to you. Of course you're going to suffer. Why are you so concerned with my life? Concern yourself with yours first, not mine. Make mine at least second. Make yours first, always. That's not selfish. That's not wrong. I know they try to tell you that. It's not. You're conscious right now and aware of you, yourself, and the world. But you control you. Why would you not prioritize yourself and your thoughts and your actions and your aspirations and your goals and what you want to do and your mental health and your physical health and maximizing your potential? You're you. Why wouldn't you? I mean, it's just, we've gotten to the point where the most basic fundamental axioms of life are now considered ridiculous, right? We're so distracted that all this nonsense comes up that you hear in the media and in the world about all these fucking genders and pronouns and all. Like we're so taken away from the simplicity of life that we have to create all these problems. It's nuts. It is nuts. So please, focus on you, your process, what you want to do, who you want to become. Put the pen to paper, reacquaint yourself with yourself. Get reacquainted, reintroduce yourself to yourself, right? Have those conversations with yourself. Okay? That way you become aware what you like, what you don't like, what you want to do, where you're going, if the people that you're hanging around with, you want to hang around with, if what you're doing is what you actually want to do, right? None of that stuff comes to your awareness unless you build that relationship and reconnect with yourself. We were like that when we were kids. We were very in tune with ourselves as kids, and we've lost that connection because we're told to worry about everybody else instead of ourselves. And that's a big problem. Okay? That's number 4. And number 5, lastly, is your belief systems. Your identity, your values, your beliefs, your philosophies, all that stuff. Right? When that goes unchecked and unfiltered, it's just what everybody else has uploaded into your mind, what you've watched on social media, what your family taught you, what you learned from the TV and your teachers, and you're just floating along. You're another cog in the machine. Right? That's when all the oh, well, you're this race, you're this culture, you're supposed to be this way, talk this way, walk this way. All that stuff gets handed to us. When did you ever assess that and say, wait, is this actually me? Or am I just another Hispanic person or black or white or Asian or whatever it is? Because if I never questioned that or changed it, I wouldn't be doing this. You wouldn't be listening to me. Nobody would know me, right? I would have a completely different life. I would more than likely be miserable, but I would have a completely different life. I would not have achieved what I achieved today had I fallen into that and not challenged that or looked at it at all. It would be impossible for me to be in this position that I'm in. I want you to hear that and listen again. It would be impossible. It wouldn't even be in the realm of possibility for me to be doing what I'm doing, where I'm at, right? How I'm living, what I've accomplished, how much money I make, and all that stuff. Right? That was instilled by me. I took a look, I reevaluated, I made the changes. Now I'm where I'm at. And I continue that process over and over to refine and improve and upgrade. But I had to assess those belief systems, right? I had to assess those belief systems like what I brought up in the very beginning. Why do I think I'm lesser than anybody else? Why, even though they say I can't have that car or be that type of person or speak that way? Why? Why can't I go after it? Why can't I at least try to do that? What's going on? Why am I being told already that the stars have already been set in regards to what I'm going to be and who I am? Well, I have no control? You're trying to tell me that just because I was born with this last name and this location, I can only do X, Y, Z? That doesn't make any sense. But until you start questioning that and really reevaluating it and looking at it, you don't know. Because then now even your goals and your aspirations aren't your own. They're your mom's. They're your dad's. They're your family's. They're expectations of what you think you're supposed to do. Go to school, go to college, get a job, get married, have fucking 3 kids, right? Live happily ever after, right? Some people, sure, maybe they do want to do that. But I guarantee the vast majority of people don't want to do it, or at least not in that order and in that way that it's described. They want to do it their own way, but they won't challenge that because of fear of criticism and all this stuff. However, you've just lost connection with yourself. Why? When you're a kid and you want to do something, you don't care, right? Try to talk a kid out of becoming what they want to become. Let's say a small child comes up to you and says they want to be a doctor. Try to talk them out of it. Good luck, because they're stubborn, man. No, I want to be that. I don't care what you have to say. I don't like you. Get away from me, right? So that's one element that from your childhood you need to reconnect with, because you wanted to do something and you stick with it and you don't care what other people tell you. But you lose that as you become an adult and you start conforming and doing all this nonsense that society forces us to do. That's not good. There's so many elements that, yes, you grow and mature out of that, again, you lack as a child. But there's many traits that you have, if we're going to use this example, as a child that are good. And you need to rekindle those and reconnect with them. But you have to assess your identity, your value, your beliefs, because that's at the core. It's crazy how people's identities are so like composed and built by all these ideas and opinions that they never even checked. So you're walking around being this person that you don't want to be. And until you start really assessing that, dude, it's like opening up Pandora's box in the beginning. But once you realize that you're under control of this thing and you can pick and choose freely, man, life changes in an instant. And although it's not easy, it's very fruitful and enjoyable to be able to do it, because then you can detach from all the chaos around you and see it for what it is and start to go after what you want, build your life, and really move in the ways that you want to move and be the person that you want to be, and not fall into the traps that everyone else is falling into, like basic ones. I don't mind sitting in traffic and waiting for things, right? I'm not going to sit there and yell and honk my horn. I don't care. I laugh watching people do that. It's just crazy. That's animalistic behavior. We're so much more intelligent than that. You have the ability to change your mind, communicate, reevaluate your beliefs, communicate with yourself. I mean, you have so much potential. Like, we have to start realizing that. That then opens up that toolbox to be much more productive and achieve what you want to achieve. But you got to get to that level, man. And you have to start addressing some of these things, because if you don't, you're going to live a very limited experience and you're going to be caught in the trap of the people. Like, if you even come on my lives on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, you'll be stuck with the same level of questions that people have been asking me for years. I've been doing lives for 8, 9, 10 years now. The questions never change. They're always the same, which tells me from a consciousness level and all these attributes, people are staying the same. They're not changing and improving. Some are, but the vast majority are not. That's a problem. So what are you going to do? I hope you do something. Okay, so we'll wrap it up here. Appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me. Schedule your free strategy call. I know this stuff really rings a bell with you guys and it resonates. You really want to get help, take it to the next level, really start unlocking some of these things. Schedule your free strategy call. We can help you. The links are below. Get on the email list as well. Join our Discord link and join us and become an Icon Ninja at eXp Realty. All of the links are below. Appreciate the support. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Okay? Peace out.